Yeah, hi there. And these comments, I'm going to just use your initials for privacy purposes, E. And I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for your TOEFL online course, the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. You completed my integrated writing practice test number 3. And let's take a look at what you said. So you say the reading passage indicates that fast food restaurants are the main reason for obesity and other diseases. The speaker, however, does not believe that fast food restaurants are the main reason for all these diseases. Now, I think if you state the purpose of the reading passage and you just say it's talking about the main reason for obesity, I think there's at least 2 other points there that you probably want to mention. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's find the reading passage for just a minute. Okay, hold on just a second. Okay, so we have here fast food restaurants contribute negatively to the health and diet of American citizens because they cause obesity, an unhealthy society, and gluttony. So in addition to mentioning obesity, if you bring up the first point, you should probably mention the other 2 and put them together in the introduction. And then say something like, on the other hand, the lecturer disagrees with these reasons. Something along those lines, right? So the first point is the obesity idea, right? First of all, the reading passage suggests maybe that in the United States, you might say, people, you have to use a verb after this. People avoid consuming, you want to say here, fatty foods. And they have to know that the fat, you want to say here, fast food restaurants are the main cause of obesity, blood pressure, and I think you want to say high cholesterol levels. The writer also shows that fast food restaurants, not fat, but fast food restaurants create an unhealthy society. While the fast food restaurants provide fast services and low prices, you have to put a subject in the main part. They are still the main reason for many diseases. On the other hand, the lecturer considers the lecturer considers a person's lifestyles for most United States citizens are responsible. Your grammar is just not making sense. I mean, why is that? You have here, you have a verb here, you have another verb. You have 2 different verbs in the main part of the sentence. The lecturer considers a person's lifestyles I would say as the cause How about this? Irresponsible. That way we get that word in there. On the other hand, the lecturer considers a person's irresponsible lifestyles as the cause of their obesity. People also eat more than what they really need. He clarifies that. You might want to say, by describing people who, you can't use who playing, you need a verb in there, right? So either if you have a dependent clause or an independent clause, you have to have the very basic nature of your writing. You have to have a subject and a verb in there. So you're having some problems with your basic sentence structure. That will drop your score down very quickly. because it's expected that, for graduate study, at the very least, you have to be able to control your subjects and your verbs, what's called basic sentence structure. He clarifies that by describing people play video games or watch parallel structure, watch television. You might want to see something like this, resulting in inactive lifestyles. That'll probably work a little bit better, which means which results in inactive lifestyles. So he clarifies that by describing people play video games or watch television, resulting in inactive lifestyles. Now here's the problem. You might do... The problem is you're trying to put too many ideas, I think, in this paragraph. I would suggest, in order to organize your ideas more coherently, is you have your introduction, right? Then you have reading point 1, listening point 1. That's paragraph 2. Then you have reading point 2, listening point 2. That's paragraph 3. Then you have reading point 3, listening point 3. That's paragraph 4. So you kind of put the different ideas in different paragraphs. It'll be a little bit easier to follow what you're trying to do. You say, second of all, the reading passage argues that fast food restaurants in the United States do not offer healthy options like vegetables and fruits, such as in Mexico and China. But why is the reading passage pointing out that information, right? What's the purpose there? So if we take a look here, it's saying that fast food contributes to an unhealthy society because they have what's called limited options in those fast food restaurants. So you haven't exactly hit the most important point in the reading passage. So the argument here is that society is unhealthy because the options for fast food are limited, although street food in countries like China and Mexico provide options with vegetables and fruits. Fast food advertisements have unfortunately helped unhealthy food become a staple of the American diet. So I don't think that you have exactly mentioned that here. So you haven't captured, I think, all of the important points, I think, in the reading passage, at least, with that second idea. So then you say, conversely, good word, by the way, you say the speaking... The speaker says that there are many healthy food options in fast food restaurants, such as salads, apples, and meals for kids. Now here's what you didn't say, I think, that you can't... The speaker does acknowledge that there's a lot of problems with fast food, right? How do we know that? If we go to the lecture, and it says here... It says fast food chains do serve mostly fat and cholesterol-driven foods, but we've now created options like, you have to acknowledge or at least include that concession in there. So I think you left out an important point. How would you do that? You might do something like this. You might do this, comma, you could probably just say this if you want to be too detailed. Okay, I put this in the wrong area. Hold on. Here. So you say, conversely, the speaker says that although these restaurant chains offer unhealthy food, there are also many healthy foods. Probably don't have to say in fast food restaurants. How about they offer we might say they offer healthy food options such as salads, apples, and meals for kids. Let's go back here. So it says they've now created options like apples, fruit for kids, or more salad options. So fruit, meals, not exactly accurate, right? So we have to go back and make a change here. There, so now we're a little bit better here, right? But, okay, let's go. Third of all, the reading passage blames fast food restaurants for encouraging, you need a gerund here, for encouraging consumption. I'm going to say encouraging overconsumption by offering unlimited refills on their drinks. You might say which is different from the past where people were not allowed to drink more than one. In contrast, the lecture says that unhealthy, I don't know that you have exactly, you have to really kind of think about the whole thing here. So it's saying that fast food chains are part of American society. It says they do not necessarily promote gluttony. It says one can overcome gluttony by not eating and drinking large amounts. We can still enjoy a burger, but we don't have to consume them in such large amounts. So here, you probably have to say something like this. In contrast, the lecture says that consumers should take responsibility for how much food or soda they eat and drink. Right? It's their responsibility, according to the lecture, to limit how much they drink or eat, right? So I don't think that you're exactly capturing that information here. So you're missing, I think, some important points from the lecture here. Then you have your conclusion, right? So again, it was a little bit difficult to follow your organization, because if I were you, when you get to your first point here, the reading talks about how fast food restaurants contribute to obesity. I would just focus on that as a key point in one paragraph. If you go back to the reading, you have the obesity here, you have the unhealthy society here. You tried to deal with both of these points within the same paragraph. I think it would have been better if you had separated those. It would have been easier to understand what you were trying to do, right? Okay, let's take a look now at the rubrics and figure out your score. If I remember correctly, let me take a look at it here. So you spent 1 hour and 52 minutes. You wrote 291 words. So I think here you if we take a look at the rubrics here, we'll find out how you will score here in just a minute. Yeah, I don't think you'll score in the 3 range on this one, so let's take a look. So I think you had some misunderstanding. Your response left out some important information from the lecture, and you have a lot of language errors or expressions that make connections or meaning unclear at certain parts of your response. For example, your thesis statement and your topic sentences. So you had some problems in those areas. So I'm going to put you right now at 2.25 out of 5, or 15 points out of 30. So I think we have discovered that you have a weakness with writing. It's clearly evident with this integrated writing practice test that you really need to work on improving your writing skills. Now the question is, what can you do? What can you do specifically right now that's going to make a difference in your overall speaking? Your overall writing here. Hold on for just a second. Let me go back to my website for just a minute. I'm going to take you to the grammar section for just a minute and see if I can give you some lessons that you should probably take a look at a little bit more. Okay, let's go to grammar. Okay, here, like I said, you're having some basic problems with sentences with one subject and one verb. So I'd like to have you take a look at lesson number 1. Also take a look at lesson number 6, number 7, 8, and 9. I think that would also be important for you right now. Also, you had some problems with parallel structure. Lesson 14, lesson 13, word choice, I think would also be important for you. And then one more, I have a writing lesson I'd like to have you take a look at too. And I'd recommend that you review these lessons because you want to get ready for the final exam, and your goal, of course, is to minimize some of the problems you're having now. Also take a look at lesson number 9, answering the writing integrated task. I think that would also be useful for you right now. And to conclude this video, the last thing I'd recommend is you probably need a little bit more practice with this type of writing task. And remember that you are doing a lot of summarizing and paraphrasing. You're doing this information, you'll be doing this kind of writing in your graduate classes. So maybe between now and the final exam, complete maybe 2 or 3 integrated writing practice tests. You can pick whichever ones you want to take. Just send me an email, let me know which one you took, and let me know you want it scored, and I'll send it over to my teaching assistant. He'll read it, score it, send you feedback, and if you do 2 or 3 of these before you do the final exam, hopefully you'll be able to improve some of the problems you're having right now with your writing. Alright, anyway, thank you very much.